Hey YouTube, here again to react to the stuff going on in the world around us. I am overwhelmed. I cannot believe it, but Donald Trump actually was elected President of the United States of America 2016. It is weird to digest. A lot to talk about. I have to break this up in three ways. First, the reaction to it and how ridiculous it is. Next, I'll talk about why I think it happened. And third, I'll talk about Donald Trump as our president. First and foremost, the reaction has been ridiculous. I live in the Silicon Valley, so most of my Facebook feed and most of my Twitter feed are statuses and tweets of complete despair, and it's really frustrating to see. On one end, you have a lot of fear. A lot of people believe my family's Mexican, we're all getting deported. My friends are Muslim, they're going to prison. All of my LGBT rights are gone. We're going back to the 1950s, or we're going to World War III. It's not the case, actually. On the contrary, luckily for us, there are checks and balances in this country, and the president isn't like a king. You know, king says do this and it happens. The president says do this and Congress says wait a second, that's excessive. So I think we're okay in that regard. On the other end, which is much more frustrating, is we're seeing statuses like it's your fault for voting third party. Speak on that one for a second. No, it's not. No one voted third party. Surprisingly, like less people voted third party by far than I thought, and Hillary Clinton actually lost in a much bigger landslide. And then there were people who were saying things like, "Oh, we lost," or "Hillary Clinton lost because America is sexist," or "Donald Trump won because America is racist." And it's like, no, guys, come on. Hillary Clinton lost because she sucks. And Donald Trump won because Hillary Clinton sucks. It really surprised me by how much denial the left has been in this entire general election of how shitty Hillary Clinton is. Hillary Clinton sucks. And in my opinion is the worst Democratic candidate to ever make it this far is running for president. She has a very shady past, more than just emails. And if you don't believe me, just look for yourself. She sucks. I was surprised she lost by this much, but I was very disappointed going into this general election, knowing that I'm going to end up with either Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton. Donald Trump wise, how he won. Let's talk about that for a little bit. The most important base, the very most important base in a general election is the independents. Because the Democrats are always going to vote Democrat, the Republicans are always going to vote Republican. Guess which candidate had by far the biggest support by the independents of any candidate, even third party? That's right. Bernie freaking Sanders. What did the DNC do to Bernie Sanders going into the general election? They screwed him. So bad, in fact, that Deborah Wasserman Schultz couldn't keep her mouth shut about it, and she had to get fired by the DNC. Hillary Clinton would have been wise to, sweep her away and forget about her. But no, Hillary Clinton decides to hire her into her own campaign and make a public announcement about it. In my opinion, this was the very first blow to her campaign, which started its downfall. This took away a huge chunk of the independent base, which was going to win you the election in the first place. If you just let Bernie Sanders have a fair shot and maybe won fair and square, the results of this election could be completely different. And that's not just it, though. It's not just it. Then you have Hillary Clinton's history, which really came back to bite her. Yeah, it was kind of sucky timing to go into a whole investigation right at the beginning of this general election. But the email investigation prompted people, especially the independent vote, to research Hillary Clinton's history. And Hillary Clinton does have a really dark past where there's a lot of cases where she's in some really shady stuff, and a lot of cases where she blatantly lies. And it's so blatant that it's hard to miss. And lastly, you have what the DNC was trying to do to guilt people into voting for Hillary Clinton. If you don't vote for Hillary, you're a sexist. If you vote for Donald, you're a racist. It's the shaming politics that the general public do not respond well to. And the independent base sees this, and they're like, okay, Hillary. We know Donald Trump sucks. Stop talking about him. In fact, Hillary Clinton made a mistake by spending a lot of time in all three debates trying to chop down Trump instead of elaborating on her policies. And I would say what ultimately lost Hillary's election was the last 2 months of the election. And really, between the last debate and the election, you have a Donald Trump who doubled down and did rally after rally after rally after rally where he talks about policy, and then you have Hillary Clinton who decided to stop doing press appearances and stop even having rallies weeks before the debate, and just weekend at Bernie's going into the election. And it's like, Hillary, I don't know if you realize this, but you have to really make a case for yourself here. You can't just expect people to vote for you because you're a woman. And she disappeared. I don't know if it's because of her health issues or because of her confidence. But, Donald Trump, although spent much of his campaign sinking his own ship, he sure built himself a really big lifeboat. And did not quit going into the election. That being said, if you're still here watching, thank you for still being here. I didn't vote for Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton. I actually voted Gary Johnson. I know he had a brain fart in Aleppo and some other issues, but I do think he would have been better than Donald Trump. And I'm just disappointed that the American people didn't vote their conscience this time around. Maybe they did. Maybe they thought Donald was the best choice. I don't know. But that prompts me to talk about Donald Trump as a presidential candidate. Let me just present to you me as a human being. I am a Californian through and through. I am in a super blue state. And when I was in high school, my governor was Arnold Schwarzenegger, and college too. I forget exactly when he was governor, but I will say, being in a blue state, there were a lot of people reacting the way they're reacting right now to Donald Trump 15 years ago to Arnold Schwarzenegger when he was being elected as governor of California. They were upset because he's Arnold Schwarzenegger, he's a masculine guy, he said a couple insensitive things, and he's a Republican. They're like, he's going to ruin our economy, and he's going to do all these terrible things, he's going to deport all these Mexicans, and all this progress we made with Gray Davis is going to be wiped clean. Well, that wasn't the case at all. In fact, Arnold Schwarzenegger was pretty successful as governor. He got a lot done, not because of himself, he had a great team around him who was helping him along the way. And Arnold Schwarzenegger said it, that, I'm going to put a great team around me and we're going to accomplish a lot. And Donald Trump, in his acceptance speech, said basically the same thing. He's not a very experienced politician, but he's going to put a great team around him and he's going to get a lot of stuff done. So I think what's going to happen with Donald Trump is he's going to get a team around him of sensible people, and they're going to steer him in the right direction. I think in terms of what he's proposed thus far, there are some things I absolutely disagree with, like mass deportation, which may or may not happen, but there are some things I agree with. NAFTA was a terrible, terrible thing to happen to American business, and he's going to repeal that. It's going to help us out a lot. And Obamacare, honestly, let's face it, it's been a mess. What Obama promised us absolutely has not been the case, and he's going to repeal Obamacare and replace it with something else. Hopefully something better, because I do agree that affordable healthcare is essential for the health and the wellness of a country, and I think that's going to be the case if Donald Trump gets or the team around Donald Trump gets something on the table. In closing, I don't think it's the end of the world. I don't think we're going to go to World War III. In fact, Donald Trump said in his acceptance speech, we need to get along well with every country. And in the debates, Donald Trump says, I think I would get along great with Putin. I think the most important person to get along with right now is Vladimir Putin, because Russia can level us if they wanted, and we can level the world if we went to a nuclear war with Russia. Let's face it. Donald Trump, let's really be honest here, Donald Trump is a safer candidate for Russian relations than Hillary Clinton. Hillary wanted a no-fly zone over Syria, and that would have been a very bad idea, because Syria is allies with Russia, and Syria says Russia can fly over. We can't come into another country and says, your allies can't fly over your borders. It's kind of an act of war. We don't want that. And very last point here. Regarding those statuses, there's a lot of despair. I sense a lot of hurt. I sense a lot of fear. It's okay. Relax. Everybody, please. It is not the darkest day in America. The United States has made it through 1776. It's made it through 1812. Has made it through the 1860s with the Civil War. Has made it through supporting the Great War in our efforts. World War I. It has made it through World War II, Korea, Vietnam. It has made it through the Great Depression. It has made it through the recession, has made it through 9/11, made it through the dot-com bomb. We will make it through a Donald Trump presidency, I assure you. It's closing for me. If you haven't yet, spot me a like down below, subscribe, and keep it locked right here, and I'll catch you guys later.